If you're over 65, your morning routine could secretly be increasing your risk of stroke, and you might not even realize it. Think about it. Those small daily habits you've been repeating for years, could they really be harming your brain and heart? Today, we're uncovering 6 common morning habits that may be raising your stroke risk. Some of them will sound familiar, but a few might completely surprise you. And don't worry, we won't just point out the problems. For each habit, I'll share a healthier alternative so you can start your mornings in a way that protects your health instead of putting it at risk. Stay with me, because the ones at the end are the most unexpected and the most dangerous. Stroke risk rises sharply with age because arteries naturally become weaker, blood pressure tends to climb, and circulation slows down. That's why seniors are especially vulnerable. And here's something many people don't know. Mornings are actually the riskiest time of day for the brain and heart. The body is shifting from rest to activity, blood pressure spikes, and one wrong habit can make all the difference. This is exactly why paying attention to your morning routine is so critical. Morning habit number 1, coffee before water. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up in a dehydrated state. Blood becomes thicker, circulation slows, and the heart has to work harder to push it through the arteries. Now imagine pouring caffeine on top of that. Coffee first thing in the morning doesn't just wake you up, it amplifies dehydration, spikes blood pressure, and places sudden stress on arteries that may already be weaker with age. For someone over 65, that's a dangerous way to start the day. Take Linda, a 72-year-old grandmother from Ohio. Every morning, her first stop was the coffee maker. She'd say, "I can't think until I have my first cup." But over time, she noticed something troubling. Some mornings, she felt dizzy just getting out of bed. Other mornings, her heart seemed to pound faster than usual. At her next checkup, her doctor explained what was happening. Without water, her blood was already thicker from the night. Coffee was dehydrating her further and giving her heart a sharp jolt when it was most vulnerable. What she thought was a harmless ritual was actually increasing her risk of a stroke. The good news is that this habit is easy to fix. Before reaching for that cup of coffee, drink at least 1 full glass of water. That single step rehydrates the body, helps the blood flow smoothly, and gives your arteries a much gentler start to the day. Coffee doesn't need to disappear from your mornings. It just needs to wait its turn. By switching the order, you protect your brain and heart when they're at their most fragile. A small change in routine can mean the difference between strain and safety, and it all begins with choosing water first. Morning habit number 2, not drinking water in the morning. After hours of sleep, your body wakes up mildly dehydrated. This isn't always something you feel right away, but the effect is real. With less fluid in the body, the blood becomes slightly thicker, making it harder for the heart to pump smoothly. For seniors, this thicker blood can mean a higher risk of clot formation, which directly raises the chance of a stroke. Skipping water in the morning leaves the brain and circulation working at a disadvantage from the very start of the day. Take Robert, a 68-year-old from Toronto. He had never been much of a water drinker. Most mornings, he would rush straight into his day with a quick breakfast and medication, but no fluids. He often complained about feeling sluggish in the mornings, sometimes with a dull headache that lingered for hours. He assumed it was just part of aging. During a routine appointment, his doctor explained that his habit of skipping water each morning was making his blood circulation slower and putting unnecessary stress on his heart. What Robert thought was harmless neglect was quietly adding to his stroke risk. The solution was simple. His doctor told him to keep a glass of water by his bed and make it the first thing he reached for in the morning. Within weeks, Robert noticed a difference. His headaches were less frequent, and he felt more alert and steady after waking. Just 1 glass of water was giving his brain and heart the hydration they needed to function smoothly. It may sound like a small step, but beginning the day with water can set the tone for healthier circulation, sharper thinking, and stronger protection against stroke. Sometimes the simplest habit is the most powerful safeguard. Morning habit number 3, checking phone or news first thing. The moment you wake up, your body is in a delicate state. Blood pressure is naturally lower, and your system is still transitioning out of rest mode. But for many people, the first thing they grab is their phone. Opening emails, scrolling through social media, or reading stressful headlines triggers an instant surge of cortisol, the stress hormone. This sudden spike tightens blood vessels and raises blood pressure before your body has even had a chance to adjust from sleep. For seniors, this early jolt can quietly put extra strain on the heart and increase the risk of stroke. Take Carol, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. Every morning, she had a routine: reach for her phone, check the news, and scroll through updates before even getting out of bed. She thought it was harmless, just a way to stay informed. But over time, she noticed her mornings often began with anxiety. Her chest felt tight, and she sometimes experienced pounding headaches before breakfast. During a wellness check, her doctor pointed out that the flood of stressful information first thing in the morning was giving her blood pressure an unhealthy jumpstart each day. Determined to make a change, Carol tried something different. Instead of grabbing her phone, she left it in another room overnight. In its place, she kept a small journal and a book by her bedside. Now, she spends her first 10 minutes writing a few thoughts or reading something light before moving into her day. To her surprise, her mornings feel calmer, her mind clearer, and her blood pressure readings more stable. Sometimes, protecting your heart isn't about medicine or big changes. It's about choosing peace over pressure. A calm start sets the stage for a healthier day. Morning habit number 4, high-salt breakfast choices. Breakfast is supposed to set the tone for your day, but too often it quietly loads the body with sodium. Processed meats like bacon or sausage, packaged cereals, or even ready-to-eat sandwiches may taste convenient, but they come with a hidden cost. Excess sodium thickens the blood volume, forcing the heart to pump harder and putting unnecessary pressure on the arteries. Over time, this daily strain raises the risk of high blood pressure and strokes. Take Frank, a 68-year-old from Texas. For years, his morning plate looked the same: 2 strips of bacon, a sausage patty, and sometimes a frozen breakfast burrito. It was quick, it was tasty, and it reminded him of his younger days working long shifts. But after decades, his doctor found that his blood pressure was creeping up steadily, even though he wasn't overweight and stayed active. The culprit wasn't obvious until they reviewed his diet. His morning salt intake alone was nearly double the recommended daily limit. At first, Frank wasn't sure he could make a change, but he decided to start small, replacing the processed meats with eggs and fresh fruit a few times a week. Gradually, he discovered he enjoyed oatmeal topped with berries or yogurt with nuts. Within months, not only did his blood pressure improve, but his energy levels in the morning felt steadier. It's a simple truth: what you eat first thing can either support your heart or silently work against it. Choosing fresh, low-salt options gives your arteries relief and your heart a stronger start to the day. Morning habit number 5, sitting too long after waking up. It's easy to wake up, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and sink right into the chair. But staying seated for too long right after waking quietly slows down circulation. When the body is still, blood tends to pool in the legs, increasing the chances of clot formation and leaving the brain short on fresh oxygen. Take Margaret, a 72-year-old retiree. Her mornings always began the same way: wake up, settle into her recliner, and watch the morning news for nearly an hour before moving. She thought of it as her quiet time. But gradually, she began noticing her legs feeling heavy and occasional dizziness when standing. Her doctor explained that long periods of sitting right after waking were affecting her circulation. At first, she resisted change, but she decided to try something simple: light stretches by her bedside and a short walk around the house before breakfast. To her surprise, those small steps made her mornings brighter. Her legs felt lighter, and the morning fog in her head started to clear much quicker. The lesson is simple: your body wakes up with movement, not stillness. Just a few minutes of gentle activity can help blood flow, energize the brain, and reduce hidden risks that sitting quietly may bring. Morning habit number 6, holding in morning urine. It might seem harmless to delay a bathroom trip after waking, but holding in urine first thing in the morning can quietly strain the body. The bladder becomes overfilled, sending stress signals that temporarily raise blood pressure. That sudden surge adds extra strain on arteries and the heart, right when the body is already adjusting from sleep. Take Robert, a 69-year-old from Ohio. He had a habit of checking his phone, sipping coffee, and waiting almost an hour before finally using the bathroom. He thought it was no big deal, but during a routine checkup, his doctor noticed unusual morning blood pressure spikes. After discussing his habits, Robert realized delaying bathroom visits might be part of the problem. He made one simple change: using the bathroom immediately after waking, before anything else. Within weeks, his morning blood pressure readings began to stabilize, and he felt less tension in his chest when starting the day. It's a small habit, but it makes a big difference. Emptying the bladder right away eases pressure on the body, supports heart health, and helps start the morning on a calmer note. Conclusion: every morning sets the tone for your entire day, and sometimes the smallest habits can carry the biggest risks. We've uncovered 6 common routines that may silently raise stroke risk in seniors. Skipping a healthy breakfast, not drinking water after waking, checking the phone or news too soon, eating a salty first meal, sitting too long after getting up, and even holding in morning urine. Each of these habits might feel harmless, but over time, they put extra pressure on the heart, the brain, and the arteries. The good news? With a few simple changes, you can start your mornings in a way that protects your health instead of harming it. So, which of these habits surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more simple, science-backed health insights.